So we're back. Now I know that the connection in the hotel is quite weak. So hopefully you guys can see me again. So we are at the Beverly Hills Hotel, which is one of the most famous hotels in the world. And this is the front of it. If you recall, if you watched Pretty Woman, that's where Julia Roberts walked out of. And she walked down the block where you had a pearl shop called Mikimoto, which is one of the most famous pearl shops in the world. So I'm giving everyone a walking tour of Beverly Hills. Here's a little Corvette here. And this is really the heart of Beverly Hills. I live a few blocks away. I love walking around here. This is the boulevard behind me. And this is the world famous Rodeo Drive right over there, where you have all the shops that are known from all around the world. So I'm gonna walk around and give you a little tour of Beverly Hills, and this is where I'll walk across the street and make sure I don't get hit by a car. But if you have any questions about Beverly Hills, please feel free to ask. Those that signed on earlier, thank you so much for signing on. Thumbs up, I appreciate that. So I just realized that there is actually, if you look really far down, the Donald Sterling building, where the guy that said some of those insensitive, inflammatory words, but that's actually his building. It's the Sterling building. To the right over there is Telus Properties. If any of you are into real estate, they're a client of mine. They do great service. So for all you people looking for homes in Beverly Hills, check out Telus Properties. They have a great realty. Peter Hernandez, one of the co-founders, Shannon, one of the co-founders, great people, great service. Stephanie Chen, one of the brokers there, as well as Eric Brown, Kurt Northrup. They're all great brokers. So we're doing a quick tour of Beverly Hills. This is the Tiffany's, the world famous Tiffany's, right on Rodeo Drive. So they often have a lot of events here throughout the year where they close off the entire street. They more recently had a Salvador Dali event, and that was sponsored by the Gallery Michael. Lynn Marks, who works there, is a friend of mine. It's a great gallery over by the two. Ooh, I love the ooze. Sandy Sanders, thanks so much for watching. For those of you who might want a dating connoisseur, a matchmaker, please reach out to Sandy. She's based in San Diego. This is the picture that a lot of people often take pictures of. So we are literally at Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. For those of you who love the Pretty Woman movie, across the street is the Beverly Hills Hotel, which is one of the most famed hotels in the world, where Julia Roberts made her name by being a pretend prostitute and with Richard Gere. So if you have any comments or questions about Beverly Hills, please feel free to ask. This is my neighborhood, and that's my neighborhood bar over there across the street. So we're just gonna walk to Rodeo Drive, and you'll notice how there's a lot of tourists here from all around the world. It's about 77 degrees right now. Finn Uptham, thanks so much for watching. I think we met at a milking conference, which is also in Beverly Hills, at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Finn, I believe, works for Peter Thiel, if I'm not mistaken, co-founder of PayPal, who's an amazing writer. When I read his book, From Zero to Something or other, I forgot the name of the book, but Finn, if you are working for Peter Thiel, please mention what the name of the book was. What was the book, Finn? So this is a restaurant on 2 Rodeo Drive. That is the hotel. And we are walking along. Thanks so much for all the thumbs up. We're walking along 2 Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. 0 to 1, that's right, Finn. Thanks so much for sharing that. It's a great book. It's a great, insightful book. I love reading books from entrepreneurs. So Kyle Lipton, thanks so much for watching. We're doing a little live tour of Beverly Hills. I did a tour when I was in South Beach in Miami 2 weeks ago. They actually have live music here, so anytime, if you ever come here to Beverly Hills on a weekend, on Friday or Saturday, they have live tours. And so here is the world famous Tiffany store behind me. I don't want to look too conspicuous. I'm not in their store, so Vertu's a high-end phone company. Thanks so much for the hearts, whoever is giving me all the hearts. So we're doing a live tour of Beverly Hills. I'm doing a walking tour of Beverly Hills. There's a little couple here, a cute couple. My Asian people, what's going on? Congratulations!
Thank you.
So you gotta give props to when two lovebirds are in love. So this is Gallery Michael. This is actually a friend of mine named Lynn, works there. And they have some phenomenal art. And last time I was here, I met Terry Hatcher, who's the actress from Desperate Housewives. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I figured I'll just go in anyway. Hey, is Lynn here today?
She is. What's your name?
Christopher Kai?
Sure, go right ahead.
Great. All right, so apparently my friend is here. We're at 2 at Rodeo Drive, and Sandy, thanks so much for the love. Kyle, thanks so much for signing on. Mark Benson. Thanks, Mark. I'll be in Miami in a few weeks. Finn, thanks so much for joining in. And let's go surprise my friend Lynn Marks. This is the beauty of life. You because they're not planned, be spontaneous because in life. So this is actually the second floor of Gallery Michael. It's a really beautiful venue. As you can see, for those of you who like art, and even those that don't like art, it's great to just be mindful that people that create art are doing amazing things. So this is the inside. I'm giving a walking tour. I'm doing Facebook Live right now.
Hey.
Hi, Lynn.
Nice to see you.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Can I advertise your beautiful gallery? I'm literally on Facebook Live right now, and I just said, hey, I'll just walk in and say hi.
It's a Barbizon exhibition.
Here's Lynn Marks here.
Oh my gosh.
So Lynn and I actually met probably a few years ago. And so Lynn's a perfect example of how you can go about networking and how to build value, meaning she's very genuine, she's always very giving of her time, and whenever she has events, she says, hey, Chris, come by the gallery. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to promote their gallery because I've met so many phenomenal people here, and look at all this beautiful art. So for those of you that are passionate about art, please come to Gallery Michael on 2 Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. I'm just doing a quick walking tour.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic show of 19th century Barbizon school paintings.
19th century.
And there's about 19th century Barbizon school paintings.
Nice.
And there's about 60 or more paintings, so please enjoy. It's like walking through the Louvre.
More than 60 or so paintings.
Yes.
Thanks, Lynn. So again, Lynn's a great example of how to be as a, not just a networker, but as a friend. She's very kind and giving, and so we're just going to walk around and see the beautiful art in Beverly Hills. Notice the lighting, notice the decor. And so they have a lot of auctions here too, actually. They move around some of the artwork. So before, as I mentioned to you, they had a Salvador Dali exhibit a few months ago. For those of you who are a fan of Dali, he's a surrealist. He's like the Leonardo da Vinci of surrealism. So they often have galleries here and auctions. So this is where I met Terry Hatcher, and Terry was with her daughter Emerson. Emerson's a very passionate giver. She does a lot of nonprofit work with the Children's Hospital. So if you have any questions about Beverly Hills, please feel free to ask. Sandy, so much for watching. Kyle, Finn, we're going to get going now. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out to Lynn. This is Gallery Michael in Beverly Hills. If you know anyone that wants to buy art, please let us know, and I'll connect you with Lynn. And we got the red carpet here. Just gotta make sure I don't fall down. So, as you can guess, I like to be spontaneous and do things that I haven't done before. Thank you. What's your name? Hey, Kat. I'm on Facebook Live right now, just promoting this gallery. Do you want to be on Facebook Live for 2 seconds? So this is Kat. Kat. Bye, Kat. So, does never hurt to be genuine and nice to people you don't know. Sometimes, as Plato once said, that be kind, for everyone is fighting their own tough battle. It's one of the most beautiful statements that I've heard. And so, thank you all for tuning in. Steve Diaz, thanks so much for coming on. And love the thumbs up. So this is Richard Mills, one of my good friends, Stephen Mead, who I actually profiled in my book, the book that I wrote called Big Game Hunting, Networking with Billionaires, Executives and Celebrities. So this is like a really high-end watch company. And so some of you who say you want to start focusing on the affluent, well, Richard Mills, if you know someone that wears these watches, I mean, those watches cost more than cars do and houses, actually. Some of those watches cost a few $100,000. And this is the thing about life, you know, you can easily judge how people live here in Beverly Hills. You can judge me, frankly, for living here in Beverly Hills. But at the core, you want to meet people that you admire and respect. Some of these people maybe have a very strong desire to buy material things, but you know what? That's their choice. If people want to buy things, that's their choice. I frankly don't like to buy a lot of things, but I do like clean areas and a lot of nice areas because you just meet people that are doing some phenomenal things. This is a Porsche design. So this is actually like the 2 Rodeo Drive. So if you were to drive here and park here, it has a free 2-hour parking. And there's a little family there. So this is a great place. It's like perfect weather. It's 77 degrees. Thanks so much all for tuning in. Mark, Sandy, Steve, Kyle, Finn. So we're going to continue our walk in Beverly Hills. Versace is right there. I just heard some French. Parlez-vous français? Je m'appelle Christophe. Et vous? There's another high-end Stefano Ricci designer. They also have their stuff in the Beverly Wilshire as we passed by before. Here's a watch company. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. We are doing a walking tour of Beverly Hills, and Persol is a high-end watch company. I just want to give props to some people I spoke to today and this week. Whenever you feel bored or disinterested in life and you want to learn more about people, you really want to just meet different people. So many people, they stay in their own world. It's called closed networks. And in closed networks, they only meet people from their occupation, their neighborhood. But when you come to a place like Beverly Hills, you just have different people from all around the world, including 2 hot girls. So if you have any questions about Beverly Hills, feel free to ask. But I'm giving you all a walking tour of Beverly Hills. There is Burberry across the street. Some of you may know that Apple Computers hired the former CEO of Burberry to run, I think, some of their retail stores. Across the way is also Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. As you may know, they actually own a lot of other stores as well too. But this is one of the most iconic places in the world to go to, which is 2 Rodeo Drive. It's literally about 100 feet away from Wilshire Boulevard and Rodeo Drive, which is at the heart of Beverly Hills. And so a lot of people from all around the world come here to shop and to take walks and really to soak in the weather because it is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Claire Chen, thanks so much for watching. Albert Garibaldi, what's going on? Passion is the punch, my friend. Claire Chen says, hi Chris, happy weekend. Check out M. Moki for Girls with Guts, available for the next 3 days. Thanks so much for sharing that post, Claire, and Albert, thanks for watching. So as we mentioned here, we have some 2 lovebirds that's giving props to before. It's always beautiful to see people in love. And so you just have a lot of tourists here, a lot of people taking pictures. And so this is the world famous Rodeo Drive. And they have a lot of different events here. I remember last year when I went to an event, it was like I think it was the 40th anniversary of Ferrari. So for those of you who are passionate about Ferraris, they just had this whole street closed off and they ultimately had a Ferrari show. Claudia, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you. Where are you from, Claudia? So we're doing a walking tour of Beverly Hills right now. And the unique thing about Beverly Hills, they have these triangle streets. There's only a few places in the world that have that. If you go to Tokyo, Japan, I believe it's in Shinjuku, where they have this too. I was there a few years back, and it's just really cool. So this is like a diagonal street. So instead of just vertical going back and forth, you have a diagonal street. So when the light turns green, you can actually walk diagonally across the street. And back there is the world famous Beverly Wilshire Hotel. And so let's see, Claudia, where are you from, Claudia Lamana? So we'll just walk up Rodeo Drive a little bit. And I actually was at a party a few years ago and I met a gentleman named Mikey Oliveri. So for those of you in Beverly Hills or in Los Angeles, I'm doing and hosting a speaking series this Wednesday. So please reach out if you're interested in learning more about my speaking series. We have 6 speakers. I'll be one of them. But one of them is a guy named Mikey Oliveri. You should look him up, Mikey Oliveri. He's one of the most inspiring guys that I know. I count him to be a blessing in my life. And I met him at an event at the Lux Hotel. So this is, I'll just give you a little walking tour first. This is Harry Winston. Oh, Claudia, you're seated. Nice. Thanks for adding me on Facebook. You're welcome. Claudia, if you want to come by our event this Wednesday, please let me know. We have a speaking series. I started GPS, which is an online program where I teach entrepreneurs how to be paid speakers, how to travel the world, inspire millions, and make money doing good and being good. And so we're literally walking along Beverly Hills, just giving a tour, soaking it all in. It's 77 degrees in Beverly Hills, and so some of the most famous names in the world come here. Dolce & Gabbana is here, Harry Winston, Valentino. And there's Coach across the street, and Todd's and Prada. So during the Oscars, actually, they have a lot of private functions here, and they don't allow people to go into these functions. They're just very private. And when you talk about networking, since I wrote a book about that, I don't know if you can see it, but Louis Vuitton in the far corner, they have a lot of places upstairs. So if you buy a lot of Louis Vuitton clothing, a lot of Burberry things, they actually have private events for buyers. So there's a guy that I admire. His name is Christoph Chu. He's a luxury real estate broker based out of Coldwell Banker. Christoph, if you're watching, giving you props. And he shared a story about how, maybe he doesn't want to buy a $4,000 jacket, even though he likes buying nice things. And he gets invited to these various functions by these designers and by these retailers. So that's another way to network and meet people, because if you are in a business and you want to scale up and you want to build relationships, well, you got to find out where these people are, and you got to make investments. So thanks so much for the first 25 comments, and I really appreciate you joining this live walking tour of Beverly Hills, my neighborhood. So Claudia, Sandy, Albert, Claire, Mark, Steve, Kyle, Finn, thank you so much for watching this live Facebook. Hugh, Troy, thanks so much for watching. We're doing a live walking tour of Beverly Hills, and that's Vive Saint Laurent. This is actually Taylor Swift. She likes coming here, and a lot of times you'll see celebrities here. I was eating coffee one day, and there is Eddie Murphy. And then I'm at another place called La Scala, and there, walking across the street on Cannon Drive, is John Legend. So, the thing that you might want to realize, that celebrities are people too, and you might think you want to be a celebrity and you want to have the fame, but I can tell you from experience and meeting a lot of celebrities that they live in almost like a zoo. So there's a perfect example. You have the Star Line Tours. So you don't need TMZ because you got Christopher Kai here. So this is Emporio Armani, Bally, Gucci. For those of you who are into design, it's pretty phenomenal to see the things here. So Johnny, Kaden, thanks so much for watching. Giving you a walking tour of Beverly Hills, my neighborhood. And it's just important to just appreciate what's going on here and what's around the world, and open your mind up to different people. No judgment. So Tom Ford here, I have a friend that works there. Let's see if she's there too. We're gonna pop in and see if my friend Katya, Steve. Amal, what's going on, Amal? That's so funny that you're on, Amal. I'm gonna see if Katya is here. So we're in Tom Ford store. I don't know if this is illegal or not, but we'll find out. Is Katya here today? Katya?
Yes, here.
So, she is here. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm just walking around giving a tour, and she is here. Say hi to Facebook Live. She has an amazing, very beautiful, bespoke jeweler stuff. So I'll see you there. But if you want nice, cool jewelry, come talk to me. That's Katya. She's a beautiful person in and outside. Amal actually introduced me. Amal, what's going on, Amal? So Amal is an awesome friend of mine. She's from Sweden. Her and I have some phenomenal history, and I don't know if she still does clothing, but if you do want cool clothing, you should reach out to Amal Silverlin, a friend of mine. I remember asking her years ago when I met her, I said, hey, Amal, why do you love Hollywood so much? Why do you love Los Angeles so much? Because she's from Stockholm, Sweden, and she's traveled all around the world. I'll never forget this, Amal. Amal said, in Hollywood, you're young forever. Hopefully I didn't butcher how you said that, but really, the beauty of Hollywood, specifically Los Angeles, is that the City of Angels is a place where you can start anew and have your own blank canvas and be the own painter that you want. And in life, it's so easy to be judged, and so easy for people to judge you. And you know what? we only live once, so you really should appreciate what you have. And you know, here I am walking along Beverly Hills and wasn't planning on walking into the Gallery of Michael and saying hi to Lynn Marks, who works at a gallery, or walking into Tom Ford's, but so what? I did it, and there was a kind of like this scary-looking bodyguard, and that's why I put my phone down, because I'm not sure if, I think it's actually probably illegal because I'm filming in a private setting, but who cares? This is what life is about, trying new things. Sandy, my friend Marilee Klein Sweeney just joined us. Awesome. That's good to know. Amal, if you're around, come by and say hi. So this is actually Michael Kors, so a lot of my friends like shopping there, and this is actually the Hotel Lux. It's a boutique hotel. The gentleman that owns it, his name is Ephraim. Ephraim's a great guy. I met him a few years back at an event. It was a C-suite event, and this is the place where I actually met Mikey Oliveri. Up top there, there's a beautiful venue up there, and that's where I met Mikey. And Mikey, when he was a kid, I've shared this story before, when Mikey was a kid, his parents, his mother specifically, sat him down and said, hey Mikey, I'm sorry to share this with you, but you are going to die at a very young age. You have a genetic disease called muscular dystrophy, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's genetics, it's in our family. You're going to eventually lose control of your muscles, you're going to eventually be in a wheelchair, and you won't be able to live very long. You'll probably die in your 20s. And so Mikey ultimately resigns himself to a really sad life, starts getting involved with drugs when he's 11, 12 years old, tries to commit suicide by taking pills, cutting himself and putting a bag over his head. And by the time he's 15, he drinks so much that he gets a bleeding ulcer. But thankfully, he meets a guy in his 20s, early 20s, and this man named Bob, I believe, who is his dentist's son, meets Mikey, and he is actually also in a wheelchair, and he inspires Mikey to live his life because Bob is in a wheelchair for 30 years. He was living in Hawaii by himself with some assistance, but when Mikey saw a person that looked like him, didn't have mobility like him, it inspired Mikey, what I call a big gamer. A big gamer is a person of influence who inspires you and influences you to be the better person of yourself. You don't want to compare yourself to other people. You can easily look at Beverly Hills and start judging people and saying, oh God, did that guy or that woman just buy a $10,000 handbag from Louis Vuitton? Or you can say, you know what, that's their life. They can do what they want with it. I'm not going to judge them. I wish they did more charity, but that is what it is. But going back to the story about Mikey, here's a man that had every reason to fail, had every reason to be discouraged, had every reason to feel down on himself, but yet when he was 24 years old, after meeting Bob, his mentor and his hero, he ends up moving out to California, and now Mikey just turned 32 earlier this year. Mikey is one of my inspirations, one of my friends, and I met him up there a few years back, and he had the character for strength on his back, and here's another tour right there. As they're looking at me, I'm looking at them. Again, I said before, you don't need TMZ, you got Christopher Kai as your tour guide of Beverly Hills. So, just to finish up the story about Michael Oliveri, he's actually speaking at my event this Wednesday. I have a speaking series, just check the timeline. I have a GPS program where I help entrepreneurs train and coach them on how do you get paid over $10,000 per speech opportunity, how do you travel the world and inspire millions. And so Mikey will be one of my 6 speakers. The other speakers in my program will be Dragana, we'll talk about mindfulness and meditation. For those of you in Los Angeles, please come by to our event. Click on my timeline. The tickets will sell out. We have Pedro De Leon, who is a veteran, was in the Army. He will be speaking there too, as well as Lauren West, Chris and Eric Martinez talk about fitness. And so we have Chris and Eric Martinez, you have me, you have Lauren, you have Pedro, you have Mikey, and you have Dragana. So we have 6 speakers lined up, so please make sure you come by on this Wednesday in Beverly Hills. And this again is the hotel that Mikey Oliveri was at when I met him a few years back. So we're gonna keep walking up the block. This is Beverly Hills with some of the most famous stores in the world. Steve, thanks so much for sharing your comments. And please share if you have any questions. Oh, look, there's Rolex. I love that line in Wolf of Wall Street where Leonardo DiCaprio is like talking about how there is no nobility in poverty. I've been a rich man and I've been a poor man, and I choose rich every time. Because at least as a rich man, I roll up in the back of a limousine with a $2,000 suit and a $40,000 effing gold watch. And so I'm guessing that effing gold watch is a Rolex. Maybe not. Maybe it's a other brand. But the point is, it's pretty hilarious. Well, Elon must be there. It's funny that you mentioned that. So I met Elon at the Montage Hotel, and so Sandy, I'll end the tour in tribute to you. Sandy, again, is a matchmaker based out of San Diego. If you have any questions about matchmaking, or if you want to meet someone like Sandy to help you find your match, primarily successful entrepreneur men, please reach out to her. She has a giving heart. And so here is Robert Cavalli.
Yeah.
And there's Tory Burch. Tory Burch, this is the thing, like, if you really want to succeed, you really want to learn from people that are succeeding. And so when you meet people from different walks of life, you just learn so much. So for instance, Tory Burch, I remember that her husband was actually very instrumental in helping Tory with her company, because he was a finance guy. Because in life, if you want to build a company, you really have to find the artist, the promoter, the marketing person like a Steve Jobs. But you also need the science, technology, scientific, logical guy like a Steve Wozniak. So in Tory Burch's case, for the women out there, I'm sure a lot of my friends are big Tory Burch fans. You need the finance side and you need the artist side. So it's a suitable minimum. So for the people that are on this Facebook Live, we're doing a live walking tour of Beverly Hills. This is Cartier. That's Chanel. Over to the left is Bulgari, Barbara Bew, Guess. And so we're gonna walk now to the right here, and let's see if anyone has any questions. Feel free to ask. Sandy Sanders is the master networker from sunny San Diego. And we're walking right now on Brighton Way in sunny Beverly Hills. Right now it's about 77 degrees, and I'm just giving you a little tour. I was doing this in South Beach a few weeks ago, and it seemed like people liked it a lot. So I'm just gonna give another tour, and perhaps if you enjoy this, I'll just keep giving tours of wherever I travel to. So far this year, in January, I was in Atlanta, Georgia for a global conference where I was giving a keynote, and then I was at the White House actually that same day, so that was a pretty exciting day. I was at a White House event with this phenomenal group that I'm a part of, and so you got some stylish people there, a little couple going on there. Hublot is a fancy watch that Kobe Bryant often likes to talk about or promote. But if you have any questions, there's a guy with a gun there, so I'm not going to walk in there. I know my limits. So we are doing a walking tour of Beverly Hills, just passing by the Hublot watch store, really high-end watch that Kobe Bryant is hired to promote. And I was going to walk in there, but there's a security guard with an armed security guard, so I walked into Tom Ford to say hi to my friend Katya. But since it's private property, I don't feel like getting shot today. What do you think, people? So thank you all for joining in. Sandy Sanders, the master connector from sunny San Diego. Steve Diaz, thank you so much for coming. Steve, where are you from, brother? Claudia, thanks so much for joining in. Johnny, Hugh, thank you so much. Finn, thank you so much. Claire, Mark's in Florida. So if all of you have any questions about real estate, you might want to reach out to Mark. He's in Naples. Naples has an annual wine festival that is apparently quite well known. So this is Cannon. Oh, this is Beverly. So Beverly actually, let's see, what do we have on Beverly Drive? So Beverly Drive is one block east of Rodeo Drive. And so, you know, we're going to walk over to Montage Hotel, because Montage Hotel is where I met Elon Musk along with a lot of other people a few years back. So this is the thing. Since I wrote a book about networking, there are a lot of places to meet people, but you ideally want to go to places like Beverly Hills because it allows you to meet more people, given that they're all here for like lunch and stuff like that. Are you visiting from out of town?
No.
Oh, you live here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing a Facebook Live tour of Beverly Hills. I'm just talking to people.
Oh, okay.
What's your name?
Come on, Lexi.
Hey, Lexi. I'm Chris. How's your day today?
Good. Just working.
So this is Lexi right here. Say hi to Facebook Live. Oh, she's a little bit shy. It's okay. Okay, no worries. Have a good day, Lexi.
Thank you.
So far I've talked to 3 people in Beverly Hills, and unlike Miami Beach, people are a little bit more snobby in Miami Beach. So there goes refuting what people might think, that Beverly Hills are snobby people. But I just literally talked to some random stranger on the street, and she was saying hi. But yet when I was in Miami Beach, people just ignored me. So Who knows? So we're walking on Beverly Drive right now. The thing I like about California in general is there's a Ferrari right there that just drove by, and there's a Porsche right in front of us. So if you're into cars, Beverly Hills is like your playground. Oh, look, there's TMZ, but we don't need TMZ. You got Christopher Kai. You don't need TMZ. There's TMZ right there. So there's a Maserati right there. So for those of you who are into cars, Beverly Hills is like the Disneyland of car ownership. The police officers here, it's funny because like they don't have as many issues with crime. They just have issues with a lot of rich people driving their cars really loud, and I hear it all the time. So Steve Diaz, Christopher, can you recommend one good book? I mean, the book about Elon Musk actually was a great book by Ashley Vance. So if you want to read biographies or autobiographies, the 3 top books that I would read actually are Elon Musk's books, Steve Jobs' books, and Albert Einstein's book. The Albert Einstein book and the Steve Jobs books was written by a guy named Walter Isaacson, who's the chairman of the Aspen Institute, one of the best books in the world. If you want to read a book about networking, shameless plug, you should read my book, Big Game Hunting, Networking with Billionaires, Executives and Celebrities. And so we are walking along Beverly Drive right now in Beverly Hills. This is 1 block east of Rodeo Drive, and we're going to walk over to the Montage Hotel, which is a high-end hotel where I met Elon Musk, and Sean Penn has a charity function there oftentimes. And actually a lot of celebrities have charity functions here because it's just easy for them, you know? They know where Beverly Hills is. They know that the people cater to more high-end crowds, so they don't have to worry about certain issues. And so we just walked through Rodeo Drive, and right now we're on Beverly Drive, which is 1 block east of Rodeo Drive. Steve Diaz, thanks so much for your question. Steve, where are you based out of? So, this is a cool little Nespresso shop. Really nice design. If you're into the design, you should really check it out. And one other book that you might want to read, Steve, is called Principles by Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is a billionaire. He started a company called Bridgewater Associates in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he's regularly on the Forbes list, and he has a book called Principles. You can download it on his website for free at bewater.com, bewater, not plural.com, and it just gives you 5 specific principles on how you can succeed in life. First one being is work for what you want. Oh, I just had a little digression. There's a little Beverly Hills brownie company. I like my brownies. And the 5 things that Ray Dalio shares in his book called Principle, which is a downloadable book. It's work for what you want, which seems so simple, but how many of us are working for what we want as opposed to what our mom or dad wants, or brother or sister, or boyfriend or girlfriend, or wife or husband? You know, you really want to work for what you want, because if you're happy, everyone around you is happy. If everyone around you is happy, the whole world is a better place. So keep that in mind. Work for what you want. Second advice from Ray Dalio, Mr. Billionaire Ray Dalio from Principle, his book, which is free download, is it's at the corner of Rodeo Drive. There's a cop on a motorcycle. I'm not going to get shot or arrested today. But second principle is create the best, most independent thought to find and reach your goals. Third principle is stress test your ideas, which is so many of us think that we're great at something, at speaking, at writing, at business, but if you haven't tested yourself, how do you really know? It's like going to American Idol, thinking you're a great singer because your mom and dad told you, but at the core, maybe you're not. And so you need people like a Simon Cowell in your life or Dr. Phil to say, you know what, I don't know if you are that good, because just because you said you're good in your town, you come to a place like LA, some of the most gifted, creative, and talented people come from all around the world. So finding talent in LA is like finding intelligence in Harvard. It's everywhere. And so a lot of times when I meet artists and producers and writers and photographers and actresses and actors and singer-songwriters, they all say, oh yeah, I'm amazing. I'm like, yeah, well, you might be amazing in your town, but as Ray Dalio, Mr. Billionaire, says, you got to stress test your ideas. I mean, until you come to a place like LA or New York, where they're the top in the world, you really can't really judge that. Sandy, thanks for putting that. It's not principles.com, it's bewater.com, bewaters.com. Ray Dalio is actually a free link that you can post Inland Empire, about an hour from you, Steve Diaz. Okay, cool. And have we met before, Steven? Sarah Vieta, thanks so much for watching. We're doing a live tour of Beverly Hills right now. Thanks so much for watching. So again, we're on Beverly Drive right now, walking along. We're 1 block east of Beverly Hills. Just want to finish up the 5 points from Ray Dalio's book, Principles. First point, if you want to succeed, is work for what you want. Second point is create the best, most independent idea. Third point is you really want to stress test your idea, and that's really key because too many of us live in our own little bubble and we think that we are good at something, or we think that we know something, but ultimately you don't really know a lot if you don't do a lot. So let's say, for instance, I was with my friend Keith Herman yesterday on a Facebook Live where he has built and owned over 50 companies in the last 30 years. If I ask him about property management and real estate, he knows a lot because he's done it. So that's me stress testing my ideas. Let's say I bought one property years ago. I just know that in New York. So you want to meet people that have that experience to stress test your ideas. The last two categories of Ray Dalio's principle book in terms of principles of success are: you don't want to be overconfident. That's actually a symptom I have sometimes. Sometimes I know I'm a confident man because I've done a lot of things in life, but overconfidence can really bite you in the butt. I'll give you an example of overconfidence. A few years back, I was a singer-songwriter. For those of you who know that, as a singer-songwriter, I'm going out there performing, and one of my acquaintances, she's an actress named Julia, and she said, "Oh, I love your songs, Christopher. I'd love for you to perform at my brother's wedding." And I performed at a lot of weddings before. Performed at my brother's wedding and my cousin's wedding, a lot of friends' weddings, and I usually just sing from a backing track or I play piano. But this acquaintance of mine asked me to sing 2 guitar songs, and so I decided to say yes, which even though I shouldn't have. And so this is an example of how overconfidence does not get you in the right places. And so I say yes to perform at an acquaintance's brother's wedding. And I practice every day for hours and hours, hours and hours. I borrow a guitar, a Taylor guitar from my friend Key. And I get into the function and I realize it's a 10,000 square foot banquet room. There's a little mini symphony going on. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good. This is a person's wedding that I don't even know. There's hundreds of people here. And I just overcommitted because I'm not good at guitar. And this is me being honest, not me being denigrating to myself. And again, going back to stress testing your ideas, not being overconfident. I reach out to the pastor. I'm just like, yo, dude. I didn't call the pastor dude, don't worry, okay? So I just said to the pastor, said, you know what? I committed to singing 2 songs to this man that I don't know. I don't want to butcher the song and make him look bad because this is his wedding, not mine. And so the pastor said, okay, at first he thought I wasn't really being realistic and just being bashful and humble and honest. I'm like, no, I know my skill sets. I should not have committed. I don't play guitar very well. So he ended up, pulling me back to the behind the banquet hall. I said, okay, let me hear some of your songs. And he noticed that I did not play and strum the guitar really well. So he ended up, I pretty much said to him, hey, look, pastor, if you play the guitar for me and accompany me, I'll sing these songs. If you don't, I'm gonna have to cancel. And so he decides to play the songs for me. I ended up singing the songs thanks to his accompaniment. I ended up doing fine, but that's an example of my own overconfidence where I should have just said to this acquaintance of mine that, hey, look, I can sing a lot of songs at your wedding, but not on guitar because I'm not that good yet. So that's an example of not being overconfident. And then lastly, the final thing, Mary Lee Klein Sweeney, thanks so much for watching, Mary Lee. Where are you from, Mary Lee? So the last point of Ray Dalio's principle book, because Steve Diaz asked me, what are some good books to read? And this is the sad truth, I regularly give away my book for free when I meet people with an ebook, 20 Strategies in Networking, What to Do Before, During, and After Events, which I have spent 20 years literally traveling all around the world and meeting tens of thousands of people, some of them most of the powerful, most famous people in the world. And when people get things for free, they don't really appreciate it, And then now that I write books and I build out programs and people say, wow, it's a few $100s or a few $1,000s. Like, well, that's too expensive, Chris. I'm like, well, again, if you don't make investments, if you imagine that if I'm charging $20 for a book, it took me 20 years to make, you're literally paying me $1 for every year of my experience. That's cheap as hell. So if I charge $2,000 for a program, and it takes me 15 or 20 years, it's not really a lot of money when you think about how much time I've spent actually nurturing these skill sets and building these skill sets. So keep that in mind. So Steve, thanks so much for asking that question. This is what this Facebook Live is about. If you want to promote something, whether a mission, a cause, a business, a service, please consider doing Facebook Live because you get so much engagement and activity. I'm doing a walking tour of Beverly Hills right now on Saturday. I tried this a few weeks ago at Miami. I just saw Upland and Merrily. Merrily, if you're free, come by next Wednesday. I'm doing a speaking series. Check my timeline. Sarah, Truth, thank you so much. Sarah, where are you from, Sarah? So I just want to reiterate, Steve, thanks so much for sharing that question about what book. And I shared a book called Principles by Ray Dalio, who's a billionaire, has a hedge fund in Connecticut. And there's 5 things you need to do well in life relative to his principles. The first one is work for what you want. Second one is create the best, most independent opinion. Third one is stress test your ideas. Fourth one is don't be overconfident. Don't be like I was when I agreed to perform in front of a wedding that I didn't know on a guitar that I don't play very well. And the fifth one is wrestle with your realities. Here's another example. Juliet Miles, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you coming on Facebook Live. We're doing a live tour of Beverly Hills. That's actually MGM right here. That's Wilshire Boulevard. We're 1 block east of Rodeo Drive. And over here is the Montage Hotel. Montage Hotel is owned by a guy named Alan Fleischman. I met him a few years back at the Milken Conference. The Milken Conference is one of the top conferences in the world. So for those of you who want to meet more high-end people, affluent, successful, influential, inspiring people, check that out. Costs $12,500 to go, but I've helped my clients get in on a press pass. This year we had Kobe Bryant, who talked about his love of story. And this is actually where I met the 2 people that were most instrumental in my life. One was Andy Bales, who is the CEO of the Union Rescue Mission, which is the largest homeless shelter in the country of its kind. I started the only homeless youth program of its kind in the world. We teach career and life skills for homeless teenagers. So sometimes people who don't know me, they may misunderstand my motives, which is fine because if you don't have haters in your life, you're not pushing yourself. So I have some haters and I'm building more haters and I want more haters because that means if you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort level, you're gonna have haters. Dr. King had haters. Mandela had haters. Kennedy had haters. Jesus Christ had haters. Muhammad had haters. Everyone has haters that do good in the world. So haters, bring it on. So 2 people I met there. One was Andy Bales. I met him on August 26, 2010. He so inspired me because he has served almost, at the time he was like 25 years into helping the homeless. And this is also where I met Elon Musk at a charity function. So let's actually go and recreate the actual place. So Sarah, thank you for sharing your knowledge and years of experience with us. I truly appreciate it. We'd love to come to your speaker event next week. Awesome, Sarah. So please, again, check my timeline. And it's on Wednesday in Beverly Hills. The sponsor is my good friend. His name is Mike Navari at Farmers Insurance. It's at 9008 Wilshire Boulevard. Anant, thanks so much for watching. For those of you who want to learn about marketing, hire Anant as a speaker. She has such truth, authenticity, and experience, and she's one of the few executives, female executives out there that are really promoting a strong sense of authentic marketing. So for any of you who ever come to Beverly Hills, this is called Beverly Cannon Gardens. This is between Cannon Drive and Beverly Drive, 1 block east of Rodeo Drive, just north of Wilshire Boulevard. It's one of the most beautiful places to go to because it's so nice and scenic. You have the beautiful trees. I take a lot of meetings here because I just like really quiet, serene places. I don't like to be bothered by people, which is ironic because I wrote a book about networking. But I will just take a little walking tour. But if you ever are in Beverly Hills, this is one of the nicest places to go to. Again, it's called Beverly Cannon Garden, right next to the Montage Hotel. They have free 2-hour parking, so you don't have to worry about parking. This is also one of the power lunch places they often refer to in various magazines like Variety or Hollywood Reporter, where this is a new place. So Georgie, I'm going to give a shout out to Stephen Mead again. Stephen Mead is a good buddy of mine. He has events here first I think Tuesday of every month. So we are doing a walking tour of Beverly Hills right now, and I'm learning from my mistakes before. So I went into the Beverly Wilshire Hotel earlier on, and the reception was horrible. So this time I'm smart. I'm not going to walk into the hotel. So down that way is the Montage Hotel where I met Elon Musk, but I'm going to go over to the front of the building because that's where I actually met Elon Musk. And Elon Musk, for those of you who may know, he started 5 companies, and 3 of them are SolarCity, PayPal, and Tesla, as well as SpaceX. He's revolutionizing the world. That's the Bouchon restaurant, which is very popular among celebrities and power brokers. And so we're walking over to Cannon Drive. Cannon Drive is really well known for high-end realtors as well as really nice restaurants. Ebaldi is a restaurant up the block there where last time I went there, Arnold Schwarzenegger was there, and his bodyguard didn't look very friendly, so I didn't bother walking up to him. But behind there, if you walk up that block, you'll see a few restaurants, Ebaldi and Il Pisteo, which is Justin Bieber goes there a lot. He gets hounded by paparazzi. So we're walking down Cannon Drive right now, and up there you'll see some of the mountains, but I'm going to recreate the scene where I met Elon Musk. So I met Elon Musk 2 years ago in January, and this is the front of the Montage Hotel. The Montage Hotel is in Beverly Hills on Cannon Drive, just north of Wilshire Boulevard, and it's one of the nicest hotels in the world. And right there where you see that Lamborghini and Mercedes-Benz, that's where I met Elon Musk 2+ years ago. Walked up to him. So people always ask me, hey Chris, how do you meet these people? What do you say? How do you engage? Because I wrote a book about networking. Keith Hennebury, thanks so much for watching. Keith, I want to go to Dubai as well. Maybe I'll take a trip out there. But so where is she standing right now? Whenever you meet people, the more high profile they are, the less time they have for you. You know, I have something called CALF, C-A-L-F. C is you compliment them, A is you ask, L is you leave, and F is you follow up. So when you meet someone like Elon Musk or someone of that stature, you know, they really don't have time for you and they don't know you, so why should they bother talking to you? So many of my clients, so many prospective clients, some realtors, so many clients meet, they always say, "How Chris, you have to stand out, because if you don't stand out, you're pretty much not going to be able to do well in business." So I meet Elon there back 2 years ago. I say, "Hey Elon, I saw you at the World Affairs Council. Great job speaking." He says, "Thank you." He nods his head, all cool. He's a really tall guy. And I say, "Hey, I started the only homeless youth program of its kind. I'd love for you to inspire my students. Can I get your email?" Shockingly, he gives me his email. You have to ask for something that you want. I get his email, and then I leave. This is the most important thing. Most people wouldn't leave. Most people are like, "Oh my God, Elon, I love you." And then you have these doting eyes, and then he just looks at you like every other person that he sees, which is he just doesn't want to talk to you anymore because you're just like everyone else in his life, meaning there's that group you love, right? So you leave so that you have some level of dignity, and lastly is you follow up. I follow up with Elon. The first email I get back from him, I say, "Hey, come by and inspire our kids." He says, "Okay," literally 2 letters, and his assistant takes charge of there, and ultimately her assistant named Alyssa, who is also a great, beautiful person. Alyssa follows up. First time we have a schedule. First time Alyssa calls me up and says, "Sorry, you know, Elon has a rocket launch." So I'm like, "Really, Alyssa, is that really your excuse that Elon Musk cannot come to the worst part of town?" So she's like, "Yeah, he has a rocket launch." I'm like, "All right, cool." Second time, has to reschedule again. Third time, I get a call from Elon Musk's security detail. It says, "Hi, this is Mr. Castellano. I am Elon Musk's security detail. We want to do a walkthrough of the shelter." I'm like, "Whoa, okay, I guess this is real." So I do a walkthrough of the shelter with Elon Musk's security detail. And on March of 2014, after 3 attempts, Elon Musk switches his schedule around, because normally on Mondays he's up in the Bay Area, comes to the worst part of town for free, and I get to interview him for 30 minutes on the principles that he used, the things that he felt that are important relative to relationships, the people he met, and the purpose he had to change the world. So the moral of my story is, if I were to tell people that I can meet Elon Musk, I can convince Elon Musk, I can persuade Elon Musk to come to the worst part of town, where I can interview him for a half hour, where I don't have a CNN backing me, I don't have a Fox News, I don't have a ABC News to back me, I have myself and my clarity and my intention. Just know that if I can do it, you can do it. That's the moral of the story. So Dylan, Kabir, thanks so much for watching. Lauren, thanks so much for watching. Lauren is one of our speakers. Dylan is going to be one of our clients soon, because I believe in him. He has a lot of courage, a lot more than people I meet that are a lot older than him. He has enthusiasm and courage, which is things that you really need. So just want to give a shout out again. We are in front of the Montage Hotel, which is where I met Elon Musk. So Sandy asked about Elon Musk before, and Elon Musk, as all of you probably know, he is the founder of 5 companies, 3 of the most well-known companies in the world, which is, well, 4, PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, and SolarCity. If you want to read a phenomenal book, make sure that you read Elon Musk by Ashley Vance, which is one of the best books you'll read on Elon Musk. And there's you like Lamborghinis, the Maybach there. And so this is the Montage Hotel. If any of my friends in the area, please feel free to come by and say hi. So we're doing a walking tour of Beverly Hills. And so you know that there are some celebrities here. So here's a little side info, right? Who needs TMZ when you got Christopher Cott here? So whenever you have paparazzi right there like that, they always look the same. They always have bags because they want to get the money shot. And so what they do is they hang out literally outside hotels, outside restaurants, and so that they can get shots of these celebrities. And so though you might say you want to be a celebrity, though you might want to have that sense of clarity, or not clarity, but you notice how they get followed around like animals. I don't know if you can see it, but ultimately these photographers, they literally follow them around like animals, as I guess I'm doing right now. So I don't know who that dude is, but he's getting his photo taken. And he just drove up in a Rolls, a white Rolls. And so we are in front of the Montage Hotel. So again, a lot of my clients, they always ask me, hey, how do you meet these people? Well, you go to the places where these people go and frequent. Though you might feel uncomfortable going to these places, you have to get used to it, because if you want to have more affluent clients, if you want to meet more influential people, well, they come to these places. So Skylar, thanks so much for watching. And it's always consistent. The paparazzi will crowd around the car and they'll just start stalking these people that are celebrities. I don't know who these people are, but it's quite common. So please let me know if you've enjoyed this tour of Beverly Hills. Put the thumbs up and some hearts if you feel that this is a great thing, because if so, I'll keep doing it. There's a Maserati, so as you, like I said, if you're into cars, there's a lot of cars in Beverly Hills. I'm not into cars, though my buddy Jeremy Haynes, he let me ride his Lambo a few weeks ago, and I must say, now I know why guys like cars so much, at least these high-end cars, because it was pretty intoxicating, I'm not gonna lie. To sit in the Lamborghini and rev that car up and go 0 to 60 in a matter of seconds, I was like, wow, that was pretty exciting. So just want to give a shout out to everyone here on this Facebook Live. We're doing a live tour of Beverly Hills. Sandy Sanders, the master connector from sunny San Diego. She helps successful men find their soulmate. Please reach out to her. Skylar Kesner. Skylar, where are you from? Mark Benson. If you want real estate advice in Naples, Florida, please reach out to Mark. Mark will be there in a few weeks. Dylan Kabir. Let's see who else we have. Lauren West. Lauren will be one of our speakers this Wednesday. Keith Hennebury, thanks so much for watching. Mary Lee Klein Sweeney, thanks so much for watching. Anat Barone, thanks so much for watching. My Jewish sister. Steve Diaz. And so Sarah Pieta, thanks so much for watching. Juliet Mile, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate all your support. Jeff Millard, thanks so much for watching. Eric Oshie, what's going on, brother? So Eric had a mastermind on a yacht in Miami, and I was privileged enough and had a blessing enough to share a story there. That 1 week, I was literally starting the week in Anchorage, Alaska for a keynote, and ended the week in Miami, Florida, from the most northern part of the U.S. to the southern part of the U.S. Another fancy car, Maserati. So across the way, you have Spaga, which is another famous place by I believe, Wolfgang Puck. And there's just a lot of high-end restaurants in Beverly Hills. There's Rodeo Realty, which handles some of the most expensive realty in the world. So we're going to just walk back to Beverly Wilshire, end our tour. Hopefully you enjoy this tour. Give me a little thumbs up and some love if you feel you like this tour, because if you did, I'll do more of these. And as a recap, I was just walking along the Beverly Hills and showing you Rodeo Drive and showing you the things that are here. So this is Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills. Thanks so much for the hearts. And a few people I walked up to, I didn't plan on walking up to them. I went to the Gallery Michael, which is a beautiful gallery on 2 Rodeo Drive, and one of my friends named Lynn Marks was there, and so she was gracious enough to be on Facebook Live. And then I walked over to Rodeo Drive, and Tom Ford has a high-end clothing store, and walked in there, and Katya was there. So in life, you don't want to be too hesitant. Hesitation kills dreams, and too many people I meet in life, they have all this hesitation and fear, and unfortunately, that fear is what dictates their life, and they really don't live out their life, and it's really sad to me, which is why I create these networking programs and next level networking programs, what I call, which is these speaking programs, because I want to fundamentally know that if I am on this earth, then I am doing good in the world, and at the core, why shouldn't you get paid for doing something you love? So those that want to do good in the world, just do it. Don't hesitate. Don't say, oh, I don't know, Chris. Just say, do. I'm going to do it now. Any one of you have a dream, just start pursuing it now. Start surrounding yourself with people that are doing what you want to do, and that's the best way. It's what I call big gamers. Big gamers are people of influence in the world that are doing things you want to do. Okay, so here's Sterling. This is Donald Sterling, the one that was caught on tape saying some egregious things about African Americans, and he's a billionaire. He is a lawyer and also a real estate guy. So he's the guy that sold the Clippers, or he didn't want to sell it, but he sold the Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers, the basketball team, to Steve Ballmer from Microsoft, who's also a billionaire. So that's what these billionaires do. They just trade stuff, whether women, property, businesses. It's just like that's their world. So we are in the heart of Beverly Hills. This is Rodeo Drive. Behind me is the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, which is where they shot Pretty Woman. So I'm gonna go across the street right now and make sure I don't get hit by a car. Oh, they got the reindeer coming out now. This is what I like about Beverly Hills. They got reindeers, so if you're driving along Wilshire Boulevard at night, you'll see the reindeers, the lit up reindeers, which is cool. So there's the reindeers by the crosswalk. Looks really pretty, and then the trees actually are lit up. You got the palm trees here, which ironically and funny that I like to read a lot and learn, as you can probably guess, and palm trees are not indigenous to California. I think, yeah, palm trees are not indigenous to California. If anyone can look that up, that'd be great. But thank you all for coming on this Facebook Live. I'm doing a live tour of Beverly Hills, and there's one of my clients across the street. It's Telus Properties. They do high-end real estate. Sandy, if you can find out where palm trees are indigenous for, I can post that and we can share actual knowledge with our live audience. So I'm going to end our tour at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel where I started the tour. So again, if you enjoy this tour, give me some thumbs up, some hearts, and so I know that I'll keep doing these things. And again, all of life is about learning from people, learning from going to different places. Because if you don't go to different places, you just don't learn as much. And St. Augustine once said that all of life is a book, and those that don't travel read only one page. So all of life is a book, and those that don't travel read only one page. So Sandy found that palm trees grow all over the world, particularly in warm and tropical climates. In the United States, they're often found in Florida, South Carolina, and Southern California. Okay, interesting. So we're gonna go through one quick round of Rodeo Drive and then end our tour at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. It's right there where they shot Pretty Woman, which Julia Roberts made her name on. I saw Julia at a show this year, and she still looks pretty damn good. She's in her 40s now, I think. She looks pretty damn good. So this is the hotel where they shot Pretty Woman. They had a 25th anniversary celebration recently. This is Rodeo Drive again. To Rodeo Drive. They have free parking here if you ever come to Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. 2-hour free parking because they want you to be here and shop and stuff. So this is one of the most famous places in the world. Chris Ann Brunsman, thanks so much for watching. I'm on my way to Beverly Hills in the 405, hunting you down. Okay, Chris Ann, I don't know you, but well, Chaz, seems like you might have a minute. Not really, but this is Rodeo Drive. And that is the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. So I'm going to end our tour right now. Hopefully you enjoyed this tour. If you have any questions about any, again, I wrote a book about networking with billionaires, executives, and celebrities, where I help businesses scale their business by focusing on more high-end clients. I help you find more leads, clients, and referrals by networking. I have this new program called GPS, which is called the Gifted professional speaker program where it's recently been featured on Forbes, or I help entrepreneurs like yourself or people that want to be entrepreneurs become speakers, get paid 10 grand a month, or not 10 grand a month. Well, you could get paid 10 grand a month, but it's all about how do you make money from speaking, how do you influence the world, how do you travel, because traveling is one of the best things. So just want to thank you all for joining on my tour. Adriana, thanks so much for signing on. Chris Ann, thanks so much. Steve, Sandy, really appreciate all your love. Mark Dillon. So this is my second tour. First one was in Miami. Second one is in Beverly Hills. And lastly, again, this is the world famous Rodeo Drive, world famous Tiffany. And behind me is the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. Hopefully you have a great day, and just please remember, if you want to live your dreams, it's possible, but you have to take actions now. Don't wait around for someone to live your dreams. Just start walking, and as you walk, the people that you need you'll meet them along the way. Bye everyone.